I couldn't believe this was happening on my wedding day. Everything seemed perfect until the very first night. He slammed the door behind me, stared coldly, and said, "You will never be part of my life." Then he locked me in the room. My heart stopped. I couldn't breathe. Fear and betrayal crashed over me like a storm. If something like this has ever happened to you, comment below and let us know. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more unbelievable stories. I sat quietly in that room, pretending to be terrified. But inside, my mind was racing. I was not broken. I was not defeated. I was planning. Every cruel word he spoke, every arrogant gesture he made, I memorized. His pride would become his downfall. The next morning, he walked in, throwing a plate of food on the table, as if I were a prisoner. He laughed and said, "Don't dream about being my wife. You are nothing to me." I looked down, trembling, but inside I thought, "You will regret this." When he left, I started noticing everything. His routines, his secrets, the careless mistakes he made. I saw him hiding envelopes in his drawer, making suspicious phone calls, whispering names I had never heard before. He thought I was too weak to notice, but every detail became part of my plan. Days passed. I began setting up small shocks. One evening, while he was away, I sent a text from his phone to one of his so-called friends, pretending to be him. The reply exposed something shocking. He had debts, and he was hiding them. When he returned, I casually asked, "Did you manage to solve that money problem?" He froze, eyes wide, before covering it with a fake laugh. He had no idea how I knew. That was my first victory. I realized his arrogance blinded him. He thought he controlled me, but he didn't realize I was slowly controlling him. The second shock came when I deliberately placed one of his secret letters where his mother could find it. It mentioned money he borrowed without telling anyone. I pretended to be innocent, acting surprised when his mother confronted him. The panic on his face was priceless. At night, he yelled at me, "What did you do?" I simply cried and said, "I don't know what you're talking about." My tears were fake, but his fear was real. Step by step, I began weaving my trap tighter. I discovered more. He was not only arrogant, he was unfaithful. One day, I overheard a phone call. His tone changed, soft and charming, in a way he never spoke to me. He told the other woman, "Don't worry, she means nothing. Soon, you'll have everything." My chest burned, but my lips curled into a smile. This would be the weapon I needed. I started leaving little clues of my awareness. A misplaced perfume bottle in his drawer, a lipstick stain on his shirt. I pretended not to notice. I wanted him nervous, and it worked. He began losing sleep, pacing around, checking his phone obsessively. He thought he was hiding his double life, but he was slowly exposing himself. At a family gathering, I made my third move. In front of his relatives, I accidentally mentioned the name of the woman he was talking to on the phone. "Oh, is she your colleague?" I asked innocently. His relatives exchanged looks. He stuttered. The cracks in his perfect mask were spreading. Then I planted doubt among his friends. I secretly recorded one of his calls with that woman. Later, when his closest friend came to visit, I played the recording quietly in the next room, making sure he heard it. His friend looked at him differently after that. Suspicious, distant. My husband didn't know why his friend suddenly avoided him. I did. Every small shock made him weaker, more desperate, more unstable. Finally, I was ready for the grand design. I planned a celebration dinner, pretending to forgive him and embrace married life. I told him I wanted to invite his family and friends to show everyone how happy we were. He agreed, thinking he had won, that I had accepted my fate. Little did he know, the real performance was about to begin. The evening came. The table was decorated beautifully. Guests laughed, glasses clinked. The illusion of perfection surrounded us. My husband stood proudly, smiling, unaware that tonight was the night his world would collapse. I rose from my seat and said, "I want to make a toast to truth and honesty." He looked confused, but nodded, raising his glass. Then I began revealing. First, I exposed his lies about money. I showed receipts, messages, and the letter his mother had found. Guests gasped. He laughed nervously, saying, It's not what it looks like. Second, I revealed the recordings of his secret conversations with the other woman. His relatives' faces twisted in disgust. His friends shook their heads. He shouted, "She's lying," but the evidence was undeniable. Third, I revealed documents he thought were hidden forever. Proof that he had stolen funds from a joint account to spend on his mistress. I had already redirected those funds into a charity project under my name. Everyone clapped when they saw the photos and receipts of the project helping children. The betrayal was his, but the victory was mine. But the ultimate twist was still waiting. I played the final recording, a video message from the very woman he thought loved him. In it, she mocked him, saying she was only using him for money and would leave him as soon as he had nothing left. His face turned ghostly white. Gasps filled the room. His humiliation was complete. He fell into his chair, trembling, unable to speak. Sweat poured down his forehead. He looked around the room, but no one defended him. His friends avoided his eyes. His family shook their heads in disappointment. He was utterly alone. I stood tall, calm, powerful. "This," I said clearly, "is what happens when you think you can break me. You thought I was weak, but weakness was just the mask I wore while I prepared your destruction." Silence filled the room. The weight of my words sank deep into every heart. Then I walked away. I didn't shout. I didn't cry. I simply left, leaving him to drown in his shame, his pride shattered forever. At night, the guests could not stop talking. They would never forget what they saw. The woman who turned her pain into power, who destroyed her betrayer, not with violence, but with intelligence, patience, and perfect strategy. And he would live forever with the memory of the night his empire of lies collapsed. If you've ever been underestimated, remember, the greatest revenge is not anger. It's patience. It's strategy. It's silence until the perfect moment. Comment below if you've ever faced betrayal. And don't forget to subscribe for more unbelievable stories.